Well, if you've been caught in possession of drugs today, regardless of when the summons arrives, and it will arrive, that's 100% guarantee. You can't guarantee much in life, but I can guarantee you a summons for court for drugs. They will summons you. You should start urinalysis. I recommend that to every one of my clients. Urinalysis is really important. It's scientific. You go to your GP nominates someone who can do urinalysis. There's a bit of a cost involved, but if you want the court ultimately to leave you with your record, they are more inclined to do that if they know it's cost you a bit of money. If it's cost you time and money to do it, it means that your protestations of I'm through with drugs carry more weight. And so the judge then can be more inclined to say, all right, I'll take a chance on this person, I won't convict him. If you've been caught in possession of drugs, what happens next? Well, what happens next is you will be summoned to court. Depending on, no matter what the guard says to you, and sometimes people tell me the guard said there won't be a summons. There will be a summons, guaranteed 100%. There'll be a summons to court. Depends on the quality of the substance, whether it's cannabis, heroin, cocaine, benzos, whatever it is. If it's if it's cannabis, it's under a certain value, it's going to be district court. If it's the other substances and it's of a higher value, you could be going before the circuit court, before a judge and jury, if they think you had it in possession for sale or supply. People don't realize that cannabis will stay in your system for a long time. So you could be potentially prosecuted and convicted for something today that you did 2 weeks earlier. And it's not acting on your system in any bad way. You're not obviously intoxicated. You were at the time, but not 2 weeks later. But you could be put off the road for that thing.
So you could smoke a joint on a Saturday night and the following Thursday?
Yes. Yeah, the following Thursday, there's no way that the cannabis joint is still acting on your central nervous system and making you intoxicated in any way. You're fine at some point the next day or the day after that. You're perfectly, you have all the outward appearances of being sober. But if you're stopped at a checkpoint and they do a saliva test and it shows up, you will be prosecuted and you could end up being put off the road for a year for that. So things that happened 2 weeks ago could come back to haunt you.
What are the punishments for drug driving?
It's the same as drink driving. The limits are set. You're allowed to have a kind of minute amount of substances in your system, but it's set at such a low level. It just about gets past the reality that you might have had in your system due to passive inhalation because somebody next to you was smoking. So there is a level, but once you exceed that level, then it's a straightforward 12-month ban. Once you exceed a limit for these substances, you are facing a disqualification. It's usually capped at 1 year. It's a 1 year ban for that. Drink driving is kind of graded depending on levels, but in drug driving at the moment, it's 12 months.